So this is going to be my little series on kind of my mommy makeover journey. Sorry, my dog wants me to throw a toy. No. So for anyone who may not know who I am, my name is Charity. And basically what I'm going to go over in this particular video is just kind of a little bit about myself, what led me to decide to do a mommy makeover, what I'm having done, cost, and kind of my feelings on it up to this point. Again, my name is Charity. I am 36 years old. I have two kids. One was born C-section, and then one was born the normal way. He was 9 pounds, 8 ounces after a C-section, so that was a lot to push out. The highest weight that I ever got to was 253 pounds. And to put that into perspective, I am 5'7". So I was definitely pretty big, and I was struggling with energy and the desire and will to do pretty much anything. My day consisted of waking up and sitting around and doing nothing and sleeping whenever I could. So I got tired of that. I went to my doctor. He sent me to a nutritionist, and I got on some medication because I was pre-diabetic at that point. So I started working on eating better, and not just eating better, but learning how to cope with the problems that I was having that were causing me to eat. So just simple things like habitual eating, eating out of habit in the evening time, eating due to stress, eating just because it's there and I have a whole bag of it sitting in front of me sort of ordeal. So I kind of learned what my triggers were, and I learned how to create new things to do in those moments. So food can be an addiction, and you can't just quit an addiction without replacing it with something else. So I had to replace those habits of eating, even when I wasn't hungry, with something else. So started off with sugar-free gum. That worked fantastic for me because it kind of tricked my brain into thinking that I was eating, even though I wasn't eating. Lizzie. Sorry, my dog likes to go out on the porch and bark. When I started to replace those things with doing something that kept me active. So in the evening when I would eat out of habit, that was typically because I was sitting there watching TV. So my husband had bought the Oculus, which is a virtual reality headset, and it had games on it and things like that. I would do that instead, and I would get a workout in instead of eating, again, chewing gum, going to bed instead of staying up. And just little things like that really helped me kind of kick the habit. And then the other thing that I had to do is I had to learn to start listening to my body. And that meant if I was full, stop eating. It was okay to leave food on my plate. It was okay to not finish everything and save it for later, or even if it wasn't something I could save for later, just let it go. It's okay. It was better than eating to the point that I was making myself sick. So in that process, obviously, I made a lot of mistakes. I had cases where I knew I shouldn't eat, and I told myself I shouldn't eat, and I still ate anyways. So what I had to learn to do also in this whole process was give myself a lot of grace. I had to get to a point where I said, okay, I messed up. Why did I mess up? What happened? What did I not do to prevent this from happening? And then learn from that and go, okay, this is what happened, and now I need to fix this for next time and just not do it again. I was very notorious, especially in the beginning of trying to lose weight, with beating myself up. I was probably my own worst enemy. I was horrible to myself, called myself awful names when I screwed up, told myself I was never going to get it, was never going to be able to lose this weight. I was always going to mess up. I was always going to make mistakes. I obviously couldn't take this seriously. So why even try? So again, I was up and down and up and down and up and down with my weight because of that. So eventually I hit a point where I looked at my daughter and I thought to myself, I'd never let her talk to herself this way. So why am I letting myself talk to myself this way. I'd never talked to her this way. Why would I talk to myself this way? If I heard her saying these things to herself, I would stop it. So why am I allowing myself to talk this way? And that's when I learned that I needed to give myself grace. So weight started coming off. Started coming off fairly quickly, but I think that's because I made some changes that really affected things fairly quickly. Again, not eating to the point that I was making myself sick, realizing when I'm not hungry, so I really shouldn't be eating, kind of thing. And that really kind of changed my lifestyle. So this wasn't a diet for me. I have not at any point in time told myself I cannot have something. If I want a cookie, I have a cookie. If I want a glass of milk, I have a glass of milk. If I want toast, I get toast. You know, at no point in time did I say no more sweets, no more carbs, no more any of that, because that's not how I work. If I tell myself I can't have something, my brain immediately goes to a place where I want it. I have to have it. It's the only thing I want. And if I don't have it, somehow I'm going to die. So at that point, I said, I can eat whatever I want, but I just need to start listening to my body. I did get up and I started moving more. I started doing more, again, with the Oculus. That was a big thing for me. There's a couple different things on there. Beat Saber, Supernatural. There was a boxing app. I don't remember what that one was called. Like VR Fit or something like that, that I was doing. And that just got me up and got me moving. And it was nice because it didn't feel like going to the gym. It felt like I was playing a game, and that made it a lot of fun. So that is how I started to lose the weight. So I went from 253 pounds to 170. I kind of bounce right now between 171 and 175. My body seems to be very content here because I've been doing all the same things, and I was continuously dropping. And as it continuously dropped, it was just kind of coming off, and it was pretty easy. And then it hit a point where, like, I'm now kind of like, no matter what I do, my body doesn't want to seem to lose any weight. So it's just kind of hit this plateau right now. And I'm okay with that, though, because I'm living a lifestyle that I know I can do for the rest of my life, and this is where my body's happy at, then I'm okay with being here. My goal was originally 150. But the number doesn't bother me so much. I obviously don't want to work my way back up, so I set myself a goal of I don't want to be any higher than 175. And if I start to get higher than 175, I need to figure out what I need to do to get myself back down under 175. But 175 is like the highest I want to be. And so anything beyond that, if I stay at 175, fine, I stay at 175. If I, go down to 170, great. If I keep going down and I eventually get to 150, even more fantastic. But any number up to 175, I don't stress about. Don't care. It is what it is. The number on the scale does not matter to me. I just don't want to go back to what I was. So that's why I kind of cap myself off. That's the highest number I want to be. So why did I decide to get a mommy makeover? One, I feel so much better about myself. I look at my before pictures and I look at the pictures of, where I've come and how far I've come, and I feel confident. I feel good. I feel great. I feel amazing. I love all my hard work and all my progress. But there are just certain things about my body that are not going to change no matter how much weight I lose, no matter how much muscle I put on. It's just not going to go away. The sagging skin, the boobs pointing in the wrong direction, that's not going to magically change by lifting more weights, putting on more muscle. It might help a little, but it's not going to fix it all. And so I want the confidence that I have and the beauty that I feel on the inside to be matched on the outside, which I feel like is just going to even increase my confidence even more. So I decided I wanted to look into basically hitting reset on my body is what I like to say. I like to say that I'm hitting the reset button, that my body was originally intended to look like how it is going to look after surgery. And this time around, I'm going to treat my body right. I'm done having kids. So I'm at a place where I'm ready to, like I said, hit that reset on my body and put everything back where it's supposed to be after not treating myself well by overeating and having kids that expands and stretches everything out. So that is why I decided to get a mommy makeover. So my mommy makeover is going to consist of a tummy tuck. So they're going to pull the skin down, create a new belly button hole for myself. And then, hold on, I'm so sorry. Lizzie, get off. There. If I can throw something, she'll go away. So that's the tummy tuck. So that's just pulling everything down, tightening it all up. And then there is which I thought I was going to need a breast reduction. But when I went in for my pre-op appointment and the doctor starts moving everything around and tucking it under, pulling it in, we really kind of discovered that I really don't need a breast reduction so much as I just need the lift. Breast reduction would be that they're so big, they have to take some of that out and then they can do the lift and pull it up to where it needs to be. My boobs really aren't that big. There's so much extra skin and sagging from them being so big at one point. So a breast lift is going to do the trick. So now I just want to kind of go over like what the costs of these two things were. So originally my cost was with the tummy tuck and the breast reduction. And then there's a medication that they give you during surgery that is a long-lasting pain medication that helps with not needing some of the like pain medication, like the Oxycontin or whatever pain medication you get after the fact. You need less of that because you are in less pain like for longer after your surgery is done. So that's what's all included in the price, along with the anesthesia, the room, all those fees and stuff like that. And because I'm getting two different things done, there is also kind of like a discount that you get, at least with my surgeon's office, which I am going to Wilmington Plastic Surgery. And my doctor is Dr. Morgan. So the original cost was going to be $16,553.20. Once we discovered that I didn't need a breast reduction, that I was just going to get the lift, it went to $14,980. So it was like a $1,500 savings, something like that. It was give or take a little bit more than that savings. So I was kind of really excited about that because for me, both of those prices were sticker shock. Any research that I had done before this, I was thinking it was going to be $25,000 to $30,000. Like I really thought it was going to be a lot more than what it is. And then when they gave me the quote, the first original quote, I remember telling the lady, I was like, I have sticker shock, and I have sticker shock in a good way because I was expecting this to be so much more. Now I will say my doctor's office does not do, when you do like a mommy makeover, so the tummy tuck, lift, reduction, whatever, they don't do liposuction. So they're not going to go in and do any liposuction like on my hips or anything like that. And I think I'm okay with that. I mean, I'm a little nervous about that. I'm not going to lie. Like I've become almost obsessed with looking at before and after pictures of like tummy tucks and things like that. And I see it, and there's some that you'll see that'll be listed tummy tuck and liposuction. And then there's some that are just tummy tuck. And I'm like, okay, I'll be so interested to see what I look like after just a tummy tuck. And should I have asked for liposuction along with it? I don't think so. I have a lot of loose skin. Like there's a lot just of like loose skin kind of going on right here. And I think once they pull that, that's going to be a huge help. When I went in for my consultation, I did ask my doctor because when I went in for my consultation, I weighed 192 pounds. So I wasn't done to the point that I had gotten to where I wanted to get. And I talked to the doctor and I said, should I be at my goal weight or, should I get it done now? And he said, it just kind of depends. Like there are people who want to get it done now. And then if they lose some more weight, they'll come in and maybe do like a mini tummy tuck, which is less invasive because they don't come all the way up to your belly button and pull down. It's more, they just kind of cut and then pull down what you got, and there's no need to move and recut a hole for your belly button. So it's very different in that sense. But he said, it really just kind of depends. Like sometimes that helps motivate people to continue. And sometimes people hit that and they're like, you know what, actually, I really didn't need to hit the number that I was thinking. I'm pretty good where I'm at, which is where I think I'm at. Like, I feel like I'm good with my number. And I think as long as, you know, the results come out how I want it, I'm going to feel really good about just doing this tummy tuck. So, but we'll see. It's all up in the air. And I think that's probably my biggest nervousness, you know, nervous energy that I have, is the just not knowing. You know, you look at before and after pictures, and some of the pictures you're like, yes, that's what I want. And then you look at other pictures and you're like, oh, I hope I don't look like that when I'm done. So needless to say, you know, there's a lot of nervous energy built up in me right now. And I'm just trying to breathe and just remember that no matter what, when this is all said and done, I'm going to look and feel better than before I went in. And, you know, if it's not exactly the way that I was hoping it would be, that's okay. It's still better, and it's still a step in the right direction towards the goal that I want. So that's kind of what I'm feeling. What I'm hoping for is, I'm hoping for, you know, again, the boobs to be lifted. I want them to make me feel good and sexy and, you know, be able to wear cute bras and cute shirts, and not feel like I'm constantly having to wear sports bras, because that's what's going to hold the girls up. And actually my sports bras are so like stretched now that they don't even hold the girls up. It is literally just there to hold them, because that's what society says we need, is something to hold them. So that is literally why I have sports bras right now, is just because that's what you're supposed to do. And then as for my stomach, I do have a hourglass figure, and I'm hoping to keep that. I don't want to have a boxy look, so I'm hoping that the shape kind of, you know, keeps, but I'm hoping for a very flat stomach. You know, when I look down, I don't want to see all stomach. I want to just see it just go straight down, and, you know, be able to see everything going the whole way down. So that's kind of my goal. I can't wait to try on swimsuits, 2 pieces, you know, just things that I didn't feel very comfortable in. Like when I wore 2 pieces before, it had to be very high-waisted because I wanted to cover everything up. Tops for swimsuits had to be kinds that you could tie, so that way I could tie them up where they're supposed to be. I just want to be able to put something on and just be like, oh, look, like it comfortably fits, and I'm not getting, you know, strain in my neck because it has to hold them up. It's just comfortably there because, again, it's kind of frowned upon to walk around topless. So, you know, a nice piece that just holds and covers and matches and looks really good. So, you know, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. That's my goal. And I think that I will be able to achieve all of that when it's all said and done. So, I kind of touched on my feelings through all this. I'm excited and I'm nervous, and I was really excited before my pre-op surgery. I got so unbelievably nervous after my pre-op surgery, because when I go into my pre-op surgery, they ask me, where do I want my incision line? So how am I going to wear my underwear? And I looked at the doctor and the nurse, and I was like, you see all this fat here? Yeah, that's been there for a really long time. So I've always worn my underwear up above it. Once it's gone, I don't know how I'm going to want to wear my underwear, because it's not going to be there anymore. So I kind of don't know, like, what kind of underwear I'm going to wear, how high I'm going to wear it. Excuse you, go. So, sorry about that. She's barking and being horrible because she wants to play, and she always wants to play at night. It drives me nuts. Especially because we're on the 3rd floor and we've got neighbors below us. So I was like, I don't know. So I kind of figured out where I want it, and I can kind of show you guys later. I'll do another video where, like, I'm standing, so I can kind of show you where I want to put everything and stuff like that. And then I thought I was going to go in and I was going to talk to the doctor, and I was going to be like, hey, dude, can you make me a C cup? Like, I don't even know what cup I really am right now, but if I could be a C cup, that would be awesome. And the nurse looks at me and she's like, yeah, our A, B, and C's are different than your A, B, and C's, so we go by percentages. How much of a percentage of your boob would you like to lose? And I was like, I barely passed math. So unless we're talking quarter, half, or 75%, like we do quarters here in this brain right here, I don't know. And even then, I don't know how much of a percentage, because once you put it up there, she's like, yeah, if we did half, you'd be flat chested. And I was like, well, then we're not going to do half. Like, I have no clue. So I was really grateful when they started kind of like putting it up in place and kind of showing me like, okay, this is how we're going to do it. And this is where it's going to sit. And this is kind of how it's going to look. I kind of went, oh, that's actually not that bad. Like, they're not as big as I thought they were. And once you do this, so a lift will take you down in size because they're taking excess skin, but it's not like a reduction. Like, again, it's not like you're going from like triple D's to a C, you know, it's like you may have been here at like a D and now you might come back down to a C or something like that. You know, it's not going to be a huge drastic reduction, but it is going to feel different and look different because they're now lifted. And actually, I think it's almost going to look, I think my boobs are going to look bigger, but that's because they're up where they're supposed to be. So like right now they're almost like flat, like pointing down. So I think once that, lift is done, I think that's going to pull them back up and they're almost going to look fuller, bigger, because now they're up where they're supposed to be. So everything's been lifted and it's kind of like this nice little like ball going on right there. So so that's basically what I just wanted to touch on in this first video. I will make probably, I would say probably a couple more videos before the actual surgery, and then maybe a video the day of surgery before I go into surgery. Because after surgery, you're not going to get anything out of me. I'm going to be loopy and drugged up and a hot mess express. So probably a couple more. If you have any questions, please leave them below. Make sure that you hit subscribe and the little bell so that way you get any notifications when a new video comes out. But like I said, probably just a few more videos beforehand, and that I can answer any of your questions that you guys have of anything to do before surgery. Obviously, I can't answer anything after surgery because I haven't been there yet. But when I do hit that, I will definitely be updating you guys, you know, if I can, the day after, you know, a couple days after, week after, just the way you guys can kind of join me in the journey of how I am healing, how it's progressing, how it looks, the before, the after, the whole 9 yards. I want to make sure that you guys all get little bits of that. So you can really see. And again, as we go through, there's no question that you can ask me that I will not answer. I am totally happy to answer any questions about this whole process because I'm an open book. I enjoyed watching videos of other people who had gone through it to really help kind of answer those types of questions that I was having. So if you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer them for you. So I will see you guys next time, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.